Okay, let's try that. Can everyone hear me? Very strange, because I just did a call an hour and a half ago with no problems. Same exact setup. I wonder if a stage causes any kind of problems. One moment, I am switching my workstations. I've switched computers, switched buildings, switched headphones, switched everything. So we should be okay. Okay, great. Well, thank you everyone for coming. Um, really excited today. Probably our biggest AMA ever. Have a lot of news, a lot of updates. Going to answer a lot of questions today. So very excited. And as always, humbled. 17 people. Thank you all for being here. So the first thing we would like to start with is, let me see, I'm switching apps, making sure it doesn't, I'm on my phone now. Can everyone still hear me? Because I'm switching to my notes on my other app. I don't want it to cut out. Okay, great. So the first thing is some personnel and ownership changes. We've been for about 4 months. Patrick Rockhat, our lead designer, he's been going through in real life job related stuff. Um, been focusing on that a lot. Had to really pivot his attention to it, and he came back to us after a month of solid in real lifing and said, "Hey, I am really sorry, but I'm going to have to stay focused on my career." He's a younger guy, and he's got a family, and he really needs to focus. And he's in Europe, and it's a very competitive labor market there. So he has said, "Hey, I'm going to step back. I'm going to relinquish my ownership. I don't want any money. I don't want anything. I just want the community to know that I love you all." And he has given everything in his authority. He's not dumping his token. He still has all of his token, and he's a pretty decent holder. He's not going to sell his token. He said if it goes to zero, it goes to zero. If it goes to 1 million, that's great too. So we really appreciate Patrick and Rockat. I guess I shouldn't dox his name, but there you go. And uh, that the Rockat, you know him as Rockat on our socials. Fill him in. He is the second founder. The first founder was, well, I mean, they're best friends, so they've been friends their whole life. They started the game because they wanted to have like a 90s nostalgia RPG that was, not intimidating. A lot of RPGs are pretty intimidating when you get into them, right? So, yeah, so Rockhat is stepping away. Andrew, our head of marketing and business development, a lot of stuff, he is having one of the best things that can happen to someone. I'm not going to say exactly what it is, but for the next 3 to 6 months, he is going to be occupied on something way bigger than anything we have in this world or any world. So congratulations to him. And he's not selling his token. He's not walking away. He's relinquishing his ownership. And we're going to talk more about that in a moment. But he is stepping back to deal with a very good family encounter. I hope, knock on wood, everything keeps being positive there. So Andrew has stepped away as well. Now, lastly is Matsta. He is the head developer. He's been working with us for months and months to create operational redundancy. Because right now, if something goes wrong, we have to yell at Mats. And Mats is in Austria, and he's on a different time zone from a lot of us. And he's a really good coder. Like I've had multiple devs look at his code. It's very self-explanatory. It's very organized. It's very clean, good code. But again, it's tailored. As anyone that knows about coding, all coding has a flavor. It has a humanity. And you don't want your whole project leaning on one person. So since I took over as CEO, operational security, operational redundancy, operational overhaul was one of my motifs, and I said, listen, we've got to bring in someone else. So Madukari, being as awesome as she is, and she has some support in her real life of coders and developers, that she has been basically shadowing Matza for 3 months. That's why a lot of you have seen Madukari stepping in and doing stuff, answering questions, because Matza, Madukari, and I met about 90 days ago, and I said, listen, I think Madukari is the best to take this over. Now, Morig is still a large holder. He is still one of our, I say he's our CTO, even though he won't say he's the CTO. He is staying on the project, but he is dealing with some really high level stuff. He's a developer in real life, and as anyone will tell you, hey Scorpio, as anyone will tell you, development is a very dynamic system right now. You've got to be nimble. AI is coming for your job. So you've got to be locked in. You cannot be moonlighting. So Morig has kind of stepped back. He is advising us and stepping in and out, answering stuff. He's helping us get a local test server that we can really play with, because right now we've been using a virtual beta server, and that's fine. It works, but we would like to have every one of our developers have a local server that they can all just tinker with, instead of someone messing up the beta server and then a change causes another. You know how it is, right? We need a static place for people to work. So, but the way our code is developed, it's been very difficult to get this local repository. So, Morig is staying on board. He is relinquishing his ownership, as am I, and I'll talk to that in a second. But I'm staying on as CEO. And as we've been talking about, the new owners of the company are going to be the token holders. So I am I think I own, I don't know, 7% of supply, or I don't know how much token. I have a decent amount of tokens. That is my ownership percentage. And I want to talk more about that in just 1 second. But I am the CEO. I am the registered agent for the corporation in Wyoming. We are going to speak to that in a minute. So let me finish the personnel. So Mazda is going to be sunsetting himself from the project over the next 30 days. His official no longer being under the gun, pressure, can't sleep at night, worrying, is the end of August. We have 3 developers lined up to take over his position. Madukari is going to be selecting which one that she can work the best with. They all range between $20 and $50 an hour. We are in negotiations with all 3 of them to give them a hourly pay based on a la carte work, give them token with a vesting schedule, because again, if everyone remembers from 2 weeks ago, the mantra is community takeover, corporate total overhaul, corporate technical overhaul. So CTO squared. That is my mantra, CTO squared. I want the community to own this game and lead in its development, which honestly we've been doing for years. The community has been really available. And also, I want the community to share in the spoils of the revenue, the decision making, the development, where we go. So the overarching theme is all 5 owners are now equal to you. If you own the token, you are now an owner. You have as much, theoretically. I'm going to get more into that in a second. There is going to be some bit of nuance and hierarchy. Don't read into that just yet. But I want everyone to understand this is a true community takeover. The token holders are the owners, because let's be honest, there's not a lot of reason to own a token. If you look at gaming situation, go out there and look. There's no real use case for gaming tokens. There isn't. I mean, I don't care which project you pick. All the tokens are down. There's no utility. Maybe there's a little bit of battle pass. I don't want to get into that. But at the end of the day, I don't think anyone has come up with a good utilization and necessary reason for a gaming token. We are now doing that. Champs is going to be the first game in Web3 or Web2 where the token holder is the owner. They will receive dividends. We will have a board of directors based on token percentage holding. We're thinking maybe 0.5% or 1%. Everyone will get to vote. But again, I'm getting off course. I want to stay on my notes here. So back to Matt's. He is basically helping Madukari choose the person to hand off the program to. He will always be available. He's not selling his token. He's not quitting. He's just no longer being the guy with the gun to his head. He has a young family. He has a full-time job. He makes well into the six figures. He has a full life of work and play and energy, and he just can't handle the stress. I don't want to say he can't handle it. He does not want to handle and does not deserve to handle the stress of having the whole project depend on him. And I agree with him. And that's one thing I told him. I mean, if you ask Mazda when I met him almost 2 years ago, the first meeting one-on-one, I said, your mental health is the most important thing, because if you're not mentally healthy and physically healthy, this project will fail. It's all, and that's a lot of stress, everyone, so he deserves a big thank you. He deserves everything. It's very positive. He has been amazing. He's given us way more than we deserve. Thank you, Matt. He knows how much we respect and care for him and love him. So he is going to always be there if we have some really crazy, knock on wood, we don't problem. But we had a day server switch problem 2 days ago, and we didn't have to bother him. Madukari was able to handle it. She's awesome. She's already got some support in real life. She has family and friends that are in development, and they help her. But think about that. That was the first time in our history that we had a day switch problem, and we did not have to bother Mazda. I don't think he even knew about it. I was proud of us. My wife was like, "Wow, that's amazing." So hats off to Madukari. She's killing it. She's a mini developer herself, and she's getting more and more skills in that. But she's going to be interviewing the final 3 contestants we have. They're all great, but whichever one her and her team chooses to be the lead dev, that's what we're going to go with. So Matt has also agreed to finish the AI integration, which is ready to launch. We'll talk more about that in section 3. I'm still in section 1, but Matt is not walking away. He loves the AI integration idea. He actually thinks, I felt like he didn't. Okay, yeah. So Matt, okay, sorry. See, I silo work. I'm sorry. I don't know exactly. Yeah. So I apologize. Thank you, Matt, for helping step in. But either way, you fixed. Yes, I just want to highlight you did fix it. Yes, Madukari. In the chat, she's given me the straight answer there. But so Matt is going to help us finish the AI integration. He is going to make sure that we have everything we need as far as the LP being moved over to a multi-sig wallet. Because right now, the LP is on a single person wallet, which is very scary. Our liquidity pool is not on a multi-sig, which is something I'm going to implement. And he's going to help us in any way we need for the next month. Anything major that we feel that we can't handle, he's there for us. And again, he says he'll be in the background. He'll be happy to take a random. He's not deleting his Discord, So that's pretty good. I've been in a lot of projects recently where developers are like, "Screw it, I'm out," and they just delete everything, and you can't even reach them, even if you wanted to. You don't know their phone numbers. So he has been exemplary as always, and that's the reason I bought into this project was Matsta and Rawcat's leadership. So this is a positive, like I said, though, because now we'll have Madukari, her team, we'll have Morig orbiting, and we'll have our new lead developer. Because I want 2 to 3 humans involved. Like, I don't want this whole thing to fall down on its face if 2 people get sick and we can't reach them. Heaven forbid, knock on wood there. So this is operational security. This is operational redundancy. These are things that any basic corporation has. And that's what we're upgrading. That's the corporate technical overhaul that I'm talking, the CTO squared. Okay. All right. So I'll stop right there for 1 minute. Is there any questions about personnel? Is there anything that anyone wants to ask about any of the developers or Andrew or Morig or Madukari or myself? Nothing's changing with me. I'm still the CEO. I'm the only person that's going to get in trouble because I'm recorded in Wyoming as the head of the corporation. I'm the one that filed all the incorporation documents. I would say 99% of our documents are actually internal. We don't have, the state of Wyoming does not require you to publish your working agreements and your director agreements. And that's why we went to Wyoming. That's why Kraken, I think, went to Wyoming. That's why everyone's going to Wyoming. They have the best corporate veil. It's called the corporate veil, where I don't have to tell the government everything. and they're really trying hard in Texas to overturn it there, and then they're going to go after Wyoming. So knock on wood, they don't, because it's not fair for the government to know absolutely everything about a corporation. We need privacy to be able to be, have ingenuity. You cannot be creative with Big Brother telling you everything you can and can't do. Yes, maybe there's malfeasance, maybe there's not. But at the end of the day, you need that arm's length transaction. I need an arm's length, please. Okay. So, moving on, I don't see any questions. That leads into section 2 here. The corporation in Wyoming is exploring options with various L3s. I won't mention any names, but we are talking with some L3s to turn the token into ownership that has the same attributes as a corporation. So, the way that they're tokenizing stocks, the way they're tokenizing bonds and real estate, and if everyone saw in America this week, they literally said we are going to tokenize the world. That's a little scary with BlackRock, and I get that. But at the end of the day, efficient capital is what we want, and tokenizing everything will make efficient capital. I mean, if you can buy and sell real estate in seconds versus months, that's going to free up a lot of capital. There's a lot of good things that'll happen. If I can buy and sell onions in seconds instead of futures that I have to go through the CME, and I can get a better delivery price on my onions for my farm, right? So tokenization is the future. And we are going to be one of the first, if not I don't know of any other company that is saying we're going to turn over the corporation to the community. That's the community takeover, the CTO. Why own the token? I'll get more into that in a minute. Why should I own a token that doesn't really make me any money? We're going to talk about that in just a second. But the token will grant benefit. There'll be a threshold to be on the board of directors. There'll be a threshold to be part of the development team as far as like giving live feedback and testing and being really involved in the day-to-day. There's going to be a way for players, and I'm not going to get into it because my staff has told me, hey, we need to have a 4-hour AMA. So next AMA, or maybe possibly the one after, we're going to get more into utility of the token, ways to earn the token, ways that we're going to have an economy. But I will tell you this, the future of the game is to own the company. You'll want to acquire as much token as you can to receive larger dividends, revenue share. Again, I'm not going to get into it because I was told to keep it light on that. So make sure I haven't got any instant messages yet. Hold on. Let's see if I'm in trouble. I don't think so. I think I'm doing good. Okay, great. So any chats? Let's see if there's any chats there. It won't let me see the chat room. Interesting. Oh, there it is. Okay, Foxy's typing something. I'll wait just a moment. Yes, please give me any questions. That is pretty much the end of section 2. But the takeaway is owning the token will be owning the corporation. We are here, carry on. Awesome. To get dividends from holding the token, you have to be in the U.S., isn't it? We have talked to some tax professionals. Here's the thing. If I pay out any kind of revenue to people from a loan, I don't want to get into it, but yes, I'm working on the tax implications. We don't want to create any taxable events for ourselves, and we also don't want to create any taxable events for the consumer. So I don't want to answer that just yet, but I am working on some, as one of my favorite economists would say, a sly roundabout way to distribute value without the tax man, because I do not want, even if I have to, I just don't want to trigger taxes for anyone. I don't think we have to. I think we can get around a lot of it. With the regulation the way it is, dividends in form of truffles. See, we could do dividends in form of more token because the corporation has about 175 million token, I think, which is low. I mean, most corporations, if you look at the tokenomics of most projects, they usually have 30-40% of their supply. We don't, because we're fair launched. Yeah, but no, definitely dividends in the form of but what I'm thinking initially is A third of our revenue is going to go to the holders. A third of the revenue is going to go into development, and then a third of revenue is going to go into the treasury. We're going to borrow against the treasury and then pay out from that. So it still may trigger a taxable event. We'll see. Just don't. Yeah, I gotta do a lot more AI interaction and speak to lawyers about that. That'll be a great problem once we have revenue, which I think Madukari. Let me see what section that is. Yeah. So actually, I'll speak to that in the next section before we move on. So, any other questions? But the takeaway from section 2 is the token is going to be ownership in the company. You're going to need the token for various mechanics, and it's a big alpha. I don't want to leak, but there are going to be benefits to having more token, and you are going to need token to basically, I don't want to give it away, but you're going to need token not to play the game, but in a sense, you will need the token to play the game efficiently. There will be token use in game. How about that? That's all I'm going to say. We have devised a way for the token to be used in game. And there'll be 3 different ways to gain token. Just trust me. If people are dumping, let them keep dumping, and then it wouldn't be awful to buy some if it gets to the bottom here, because you're gonna be. I think you'll be I'm very excited. I think I'm very happy. My staff had to calm me down, but I think you'll be excited to hear the plans we have for the token utility. Okay. Exactly. We need to establish the stream of revenue. Yep. That's exactly what we're getting ready to in the next section. Okay. So section number 3, revenue. YouEarn.ai. I think Madukari is going to release the video. We have tested the in-game AI integration. It's ready to go. We're waiting on the final API from Sage AI. Now, Sage AI did sunset. They called me. I need a drink of my kombucha. Just one second. They called me 2 weeks ago, and that's another reason I delayed the AMA last week, because they were going through their closing. They sunsetted their project, but they are going to keep the AI integration going, because honestly, it's not very expensive. That's the great thing about AI. The margin is quite high. Everyone uses a wrapper AI based on another AI, which is based on someone else's compute that, so you pay power for cheap compute. They mark it up. You use the compute. They make their money on the markup. You turn around and use the compute to do application. You generate revenue from that application, and everyone makes money. That's AI in a nutshell. So I have a meeting tonight with Sage, which at this point is just one of their owners. And I have a meeting with our investor tomorrow on YouEarn.ai. But the goal will be for YouEarn.ai to generate revenue from our players. And this is the mantra I want everyone to take away. We've been talking to Liquid Death. We've been talking to Azure. We've been talking to all these advertisers that we would want to sell their products, which Liquid Death is a little iffy, depends on which drink you get, but they do have some healthier options. But anyway, the advertisers right now have to pay a middleman. If they want to launch a product, they have to go to a marketing or consulting or Gartner. They have to go to Accenture. There's just a lot of costs to launching products, to getting the intel, to getting the marketability, to get the product fit. All these things you have to do on a product. So essentially, okay, see you, Madukari. Thank you so much. Essentially, the advertisers have said, hey, we are getting a middleman here. And if you could bring us, let's say Champs could bring us 150 users that we could use as a customer survey, as a market test, as feedback, as a focus group, as someone that'll do some basic content creation, and maybe we give out $1,000 to whoever creates the best content. So if essentially Champs can take your human capital, monetize it, and then cut out the middleman, that's our mantra. Monetize the gamer's human capital, cut out the middleman. And the CEO of IMX was again on a Wall Street interview this morning, Wall Street loves gamers. Wall Street wants to access gamers. We are not the only people talking about this. It's a little bit of info-fi. It's a little bit of social-fi. But at the end of the day, the gamer has a ton of bandwidth. It's a one-way street. Like when you play a game, you're just paying money for entertainment or to escape or to be entertained. Well, you never really get off that treadmill. We're trying to spin that on its head and say the gamer and their attention and their likes and dislikes and their survey, the survey from them, that's worth a lot of money. So let's just pay them instead of paying Gartner or Accenture or Google or YouTube or any of these middle Twitter. Like, stop paying the middleman to advertise. Just go directly to the consumer and say, hey, consumer, you tell me what you want. I'll pay you to tell me what you want. And if you buy from me, the money that I saved and not having advertised it, I'm going to pass it on to you. So our advertisers and retailers love this idea. I've actually had people already saying, like, you get this going, you show us 90 days of pro forma, we'll probably just buy you out. Because if we can make this work and be the first person to do it, that's what they want. And I want Champs to be, YouEarn.ai is going to have leaderboards. It's going to have user level leaderboards, and it's going to have community level leaderboards. Champs will have a referral code. Anyone that uses that referral code, that revenue to go to YouEarn, that revenue will flow. 1/3 of that revenue will go to the user that referred it. 1/3 of that revenue will go to Champs, the protocol, and 1/3 will go to YouEarn.ai. Aligning those incentives where all three of us are on the same team, that should generate revenue for the company. That company will take that money and pass it to the token holders. The token holders will go, that's awesome. I just made money from this whole flywheel. I want to own more token, or I want to drive more people to YouEarn, or I want to drive more people to play Champs, because if they play Champs, there's going to be a daily quest that they go to YouEarn, right? So you can see that, and I don't want to go off to, again, my staff has kept me on a tight rope today on good measure. So there'll be more about that. But essentially what I want you to take away is YouEarn.ai will funnel into our ecosystem, monetizing the human capital of the gamer and removing the middlemen. And that will drive the flywheel of revenue. Now, obviously, we're going to make an awesome game more awesome, and we're going to sell stuff to players. But we don't want to be the game that's sitting here just extracting. We want you guys to be making money by doing the things that you normally do, buying stuff, reviewing stuff. If you want to look it up, it's called Mechanical Turks, Turks. Amazon already has this system where they pay you. You guys can go do it on your own. YouEarn.ai is going to have an AI that helps you do this. But like Amazon Mechanical Turk is where they pay humans to do tasks that AI can't do, that algorithms can't do. Okay? That's what I want you to, and there'll be more about that coming, but Madhukari is going to share the video later. You're going to see the AI integration. We're going to kick that off probably in the next week or so, and you're going to start seeing that system in action. Okay, so that's section 3. Any questions about section 3? I don't see any, and I don't see any messages. Okay, great. So section 4, the community takeover is in full effect. So I've already talked about the CTO squared, which the first part of that is the corporate technical overhaul, which is the token being ownership of the company, the corporate structure, the operational security, the operational redundancy, all these things you have to do. Okay. The next part of that CTO squared is the community takeover itself. Yes, we want you guys to own token, and yes, we want you to help make decisions, but more than that, just listen to some of the stuff that we've had happen. We've got Abstract talking to us. We're thinking about going multi-chain or maybe moving. I don't want to move from IMX. I love them. They're great, but we have to kind of be nimble here. I'm not exploring leaving yet. I talk to IMX all the time. We did have some problems with IMX this last week with the truffle payouts. I was not able to get our bridge to basically initialize, and I was trying to send USDC to our deployer, and it would not deploy. And they couldn't figure. They think it's something to do maybe with my internal browser, which is weird that I would be having an issue on a browser level, but we're working on that. But while we were doing that, we just decided we can't just keep handing out cash. We've got a decent amount of runway. I would say we have more runway than most. And that's going to be another thing. Once we take the snapshot at the end of the year and we start having normal corporate operations, we're going to disclose the budget to you all. The whales already pretty much know the budget and they haven't dumped, so that should tell you something. But we do have, good amount of runway. Our burn rate is slow. Our overhead is our capital expenditure is pretty fixed and pretty small. I'd say financially we're in better shape than most people I talk to. Like I'm more comfortable than most people I talk to. We've got well over 6 months of runway left because I've told you guys since I took over, we must survive till January 2026. I'm telling you, the gaming narrative, Axie's new MMORPG comes out in 2 or 3 weeks. You're gonna see gaming catch fire again, and that's why we have to be the first that are pushing community ownership, community takeover, revenue, sustainability. We have to be a business first. We can't just be another game. There's tons of games. There's hundreds and hundreds of games, and none of them are making any money. That's why there's no venture capital, because it doesn't make any money. Okay? So the community takeover is in full effect. These are some things that have happened in the last 2 weeks. One of our community members is getting us a meeting with Abstract. That's in the works. Another one of our members has got us a meeting with Pingu. That the huge community Pingu. They're ready to meet. We're not. We don't want to meet with them until we have this AI integration because we want to go to YouEarn AI and say, hey, Champs is onboarding Pingu as a partner. Then the YouEarn referral code from Champs will go to Pingu. So imagine Champs is the community that brings on Pingu. I'm not saying it's going to happen. Knock on wood, it does. Let's say it's even a 1% chance that it happens, but it's an asymmetric bet. If we bring on Pingu and they use our referral code, we get a third of the revenue. Third of the revenue that community will create. That might be enough to run development by itself. But then imagine we go to YGG, and then imagine we go to Berserk DAO, and we go to all these DAOs all over the world, and we say, hey, here's YouEarn.ai, use our code, sign up, look at how much revenue we've made. They log in, they see how much, because we're going to have leaderboards in YouEarn showing how much players are making, doing tasks, doing market surveys, doing all this stuff. It's going to be an easy sell, especially for people around the world that where $10 a day is a lot of money, right? So the community is really helping us. Another community member got us a meeting with Base. Again, not saying we're going to Base, but we're going to talk to them. We're going to talk to everybody right now. Everything's on the table. We are not saying no to anything. We are looking at every option. If they're going to give us money and they're going to give us support, maybe we go multi-chain. Maybe we move. Maybe we don't. We're taking meetings. Nothing has been done yet, but that's where we're moving. Okay. Let's see. Shout out to JJ. I'm going to always give JJ a shout out because he works hard for this community. He is doing I haven't seen it. I don't really know what's being said, but I know there is a group of people that are talking and they're developing a document that has feedback and they're going to come to us and give us feedback, I assume. But see, that's great. Those people probably all own token and therefore as token owners, they're corporate owners and they're going to be able to say, hey, we want these changes. And then we can put it to a vote and the community can vote. Another hill to come. Exactly. Yes. Champs will be the top earning community. We just have so many good people here that are already working so hard for so little. That's why I'm so bullish. That's why, we have more money percentage wise than any project I know. You can't really stop us because everyone here that's still here is not going to quit. We're not going to quit now. We've been through so much. And the only people stepping away are stepping away because of in real life stuff. It's not that they just can't handle more on the plate. I don't blame them, and they've got to pick and choose. So they've been really great to us too. I mean, I have no ill will towards anybody that has to step away. You have to do what you have to do. Um, and I want to shout out to the people that I'm not going to mention their names. There's people out there that are doing things that I'm not going to speak to today, but the unspoken, I honor you. There's people out in this community doing stuff right now that none of you are ever going to hear about. They don't want it. They don't want any notoriety. They don't want to slap on the back. They don't want to thank you, but they are going to be known. So the unnamed are definitely real, and we appreciate you. But there's things happening, collaborations happening, partnerships happening from people that are doing. I mean, again, I can't mention their names, but there's people that are putting us in touch with, like, a famous Japanese graphic designer. Like, I won't even get into it. There's stuff happening that I can't even tell you about. Okay, but it is because of people DMing me in the middle of the night saying, "Hey, I got this friend," or "Hey, I know this person," or "Hey, I had a guy say, 'Hey, the only reason I'm still invested in you guys is because of y'all's passion.'" No, every other project's so dead. You go in other people's discords, you go in other people's projects. It's sad. It's really upsetting. So that is section 4, and we're 40 minutes in. So 10 minutes a section. I'm doing good. I'm gonna pause, have a kombucha drink. Any questions on section 4? All right, great. Section 5. This is the last section. We're almost done. This is some general housekeeping. Token rewards from season 1 of Reign of Power will be sent this week. So token rewards are being sent out. Truffle to token swaps will be starting to be processed this week. So you will receive anybody that had a claim in for stable coin. We will be honoring that in token. I'm sorry if this is offensive or unfortunate, but we hope to turn our community into token holders, not just extractors. And people that want to extract, well, you can just sell the token. Now you don't have to bridge it. We're giving you token on the ETH mainnet. You can just go sell it easily. A little more in fees, I guess. But now you don't have to bridge it from IMX to wherever. So we decided not to pay out any more claims on IMX. But we will be sending out any claims in token. Now, this may hurt the token price, sure. But at this point, I really want to shake out anyone that doesn't want to be here. If you're an extractor, please go ahead and exit stage left. If you don't believe in this, I understand. The average hold time of any token right now is 60 seconds. I get it. You got to make your money, bro. Lambo, Moon Boy, whatever. Find another project. There's plenty of people that'll take you in. Go right ahead. There's plenty of them. And then they'll and have fun getting dumped on. But everyone here is pretty much, yeah, Scorpio, you saw that, the on-chain data. 60 seconds. During the last bull cycle, the average hold of a meme coin was 300 seconds. During this cycle, due to pump.fun and all these garbage websites, I spit on them. I hate them. They've killed so many projects, extracted so much capital, hurt so many people. I know so many people that have lost all their money. It's 60 seconds. They literally can see on chain these people buy these tokens and they dump in 60 seconds. So, yeah, just like somebody put it to God in 60 seconds there. Very apt. So, yeah, someone would say, Enoch, you're crazy. This is not going to work. Yeah, maybe, but maybe it does. I mean, we're building something logical and common sense and straightforward here. So there you go. Maybe I'd be doing better as Matic if I'd done that. Yeah. Well, yeah, Matic is I was a Matic maxi back in the day, bro. I was a huge holder of Matic. I was like friends with the mayor of Matic, that guy. And once I don't want to speak ill, but dude, they yeah, wow, they were trying to bring on brands. They were partnering with Louis Vuitton and all this, but there was no utility. I won't get into that. That's a whole other story. Anyway, but yeah, dude, I made some money on Matic, but I lost a lot of time on that project. So, Reign of Power short sprint was well received. We're going to start doing that as the framework. These short little sprints, they were way more fun. I have a lot more positive feedback. So that is going to be the new framework moving forward, is the Reign of Power sprints. Again, I wanted to highlight that we will now be paying out only in token. We're just paying out in token. If you sell the token, we get a little bit of revenue from it from the sell tax, so that's nice. It's better than nothing. And then we're going to be really, really trying to get all of our NFTs, get the royalties enforced soon. So that's on our agenda. We've lost out on about 8 Ethereum of royalties. ROP is great. Thank you. Awesome. So good to hear. Yeah, Reign of Power, it's going to be fun. I mean, once we get some wagering involved and some flex, and yeah, I think Reign of Power will be a very solid part of the traditional champs family. Absolutely. And I say traditional champs because we're always cooking up new ideas. Don't think we've stopped developing. Don't think we have content coming, and I want everyone to understand. We had to kind of minimize the extractors. We had to stop paying out, and this is really important. So I want to pause. We decided to get the development of new content to really kick this thing up a notch. We had to make a choice. We could either keep the play to earn mechanic going and keep paying out, because right now, the corporation, our largest expense is the playing to earn. We pay out like $2,900 a month, right? And the only reason our developer expense has been so low is because Matt has been working for virtually nothing. And that's another reason we had to let him kind of sunset, because he can't keep doing that. We're going to be paying the new developers 20 to 40 an hour, but we'll be able to say, hey, here's the idea. It'll take 40 hours to do it. Here you go. Here's some token. If you do it quicker or better, right, we can negotiate. We're not going to bring any developer into this that doesn't want to like buy in. I can get developers all day long for $40 an hour that come do their job and leave. That's not what we want. We want developers that are going to get a token allocation based on a vesting schedule and a cliff, and they're going to want to stick around, and they're going to want to make this game great because they see the revenue, they see the stuff we're doing, and they want to hit that 10x, because our token's way down, but it wouldn't take much to, I mean, 100,000 in buys and the token goes up 3x, right? Which is still not a lot, but that's how thinly traded this token is. What about truffles in game? Daily quests will still give us truffles or token. So the truffles in game, we have to discuss that. We may shift to just having the token replace truffles altogether. I don't want to get into that because I don't want to give away my next AMA's topic, which is utility for the token, because the whales have been coming up with utility for the token. Corporation side has. All I can say is there's going to be a lot of utility for the token, and you're going to possibly, replace truffles. I'm just going to tell you that alpha now. But if you don't, truffles are going to be instantly convertible to token. So either way, right? Let me make sure that I haven't said anything to get me in trouble yet. I don't think I have. So I think I'm good. Okay, great. I'm good. All right. So coming up on 50 minutes, Section 5, like I said, was token rewards from Season 1 will be sent out. Truffle to token swaps will be processed. Reign of Power, the short sprint framework, is what we're going to start using every time. We're going to be paying out token instead of USDC on ETH mainnet. We hope that you hold the token and want to be an owner. If you need to sell it, we understand that too, but that just gives a cheaper entry price to other people. We will be releasing details about the token utility, the corporate ownership of the company through the token, and then again, I don't want to give away this alpha. There's another huge paradigm coming that we have not spoken about. I don't think anybody knows about it. I've never leaked it, so we do have another paradigm coming. But the total overarching theme is we decided to pare back the play to earn and shift all that money to development. So what I'm telling you is any money that we took away from the play to earn is being put into new content. And that's all I'll say about it. I'm so excited about the new content. I can't even tell you. It's going to be really cool. Anyway, that is section 5. The grand takeaway, like I said, is I want to focus on the community right now. I want to get us gaining revenue from the community for partnerships, for revenue, ideas. Like, so I want to use the community for everything. I want you guys to be a part of this, the CTO part of this, so that we can go back to focusing on gaming. We've, the last couple months, I've been really focused on getting revenue, getting partnerships, getting us, getting our NFTs, royalties enforced, getting our token in game with utility. All these things drive revenue. I need revenue. I can't run this company without revenue, and I'm not going to sell you guys NFTs. I'm not going to take money from you guys. Now, I'll ask you to go make money with us. I will say, hey, can you go do some tasks? Can you go review some products? Can you go watch a video and give feedback? And if you don't want to do that, that's cool. I'm not asking you to be an employee, but I am asking you to think, hey, if I can play the game and I can have an AI quest, and Madukri is going to release the video, but essentially you're going to have a daily AI quest. You go do the AI quest, you get the same rewards as any other quest, but that's going to drive revenue. And then if you answer questions, then that's going to be monetized. If you give feedback, if you tweet stuff, if you comment on Instagram, if you, all these things that you do for free, we're going to monetize. We're going to monetize everything you do that you want to do, because right now you're being monetized whether you want to or not. If you're using any of these apps, you're being monetized. You just don't know it, or you don't care. Right? I mean, if you're using Facebook or Instagram or any of these apps that are free, you're making them money. Why shouldn't you get some of that money? Think about that. Why is your human capital making Mark Zuckerberg rich? Doesn't make any sense. It's Ready Player One, and it's the human capital that drives the game. And the human capital is you and your attention and your energy and your creativity. Things AI can't do. Anyway, I see some questions. Any timeline for YouEarn AI release launch? The in-game integration is literally late. It's waiting on one API that I should have tonight or tomorrow. Madukri is going to release the video. I'm going to say the next couple days. I don't want to speak. Madukri is the head of that, so I don't want to speak for her or her team. But from what I'm being told, it's done, and they tested it, and they have a video of them testing it. I can't imagine it's too far away. So I'm going to say a week. I'm going to say a week or less. And then what we're going to do is we're going to run it for about 90 days, 60 to 90 days. And then we're going to take all that data, and we've got 5 advertisers, 5 different products. And we're going to take all of your data, and we're going to parse it, and we're going to go to those advertisers and say, hey, look, we have the customer profiles of this many people. We have this much data about these people. Does any of this data fit anything you need? And then how much will you pay us for that? And honestly, we're going to ask for very little money. Like Liquid Death, we're going to ask them for $1,000. Like, right? Because I just want to get my foot in the door. Because if I can sign some of these larger corporations to use our human capital, then we can build from there. And then we're not, and remember, Champs is going to be the first test, but we're going to want to go out and bring on Pingu and YGG and everyone. I want you guys like tweeting, hey, go check out this app, use my referral code, just simple stuff. Yeah, you're welcome, Foxy. Thank you so much. I'm very excited about the YouEarn AI stuff. All of the people, my investors are excited, my advertisers are excited. I had one guy even said, he's like, this is easily, a 9-figure business, like what you're putting, because the amount of money spent is insane for this. Y'all don't understand. Like, go look up Accenture, go look up Gartner, go look up go look up consulting firms and look how much they charge for consulting. And all consulting is market data. Like, you pay Gartner. I have friends that work at Gartner making $500,000 a year. And Gartner, all Gartner does is goes out and gets consumer data, compiles it, and then sells it as a report. And they call up Microsoft and go, hey, we've got this report with 500,000 people's opinions in it. We're selling it for $1 million. And if you don't buy it, we're going to sell it to Oracle. And they're like, shoot, I'll buy that because I need that data. And that's Gartner's business. I'm not hating on Gartner. Great company. It was based in the hometown when I lived down in Fort Myers. I mean, I worked at Gartner. I actually worked at Gartner for like 8 months. But once I saw how the sausage was made, I was like, I don't know. Because it's really just data. I don't know how much you can charge people for that. So anyway, that is today's message. Like I said, the grand takeaway though, focus on the community right now, help us gain revenue, gain partnerships, which everyone's doing, and then we can go back to building new content. We're shifting the majority of our budget from play to earn, from paying extractors. That money is going into development. The new AI integration is the first step. And then in the next coming weeks, we're going to be announcing the new content. Okay, there you go. All right, any questions? We're 4:54, and still, hey, 17 people still in here. I really appreciate that. It's kind of a lot to throw at people at once. So, any other questions before we go? Thank you, New Scorpio. Yeah, I mean, you too, brother. See, like people like New Scorpio that probably spends 1 to 2 hours a day working for the community for no pay. For no pay. I mean, he's not here. And I want to lend you. I want to end this message to you all. I don't know if you guys saw what I posted yesterday, but did you see that ad that I posted yesterday from Ubisoft? The ad says, "Have no future?" Question mark. No problem. Period. Play our new game. And I'm not going to hate on Ubisoft, but that's what they think of the gamers. Hey gamer, you have no future. You're broke. You don't own a home. You don't have a significant other. You don't have kids. You don't have your own farm. You don't have your own anything. You're going to own nothing, be happy. Don't worry about it. Play our game. That's, to me, that smacked me in the face. That just smacked me in the face. And that's the opposite of what we're doing. We're saying to the gamer, hey, gamer, you have no future? Hey, come be a part of a corporation where you're in the driver's seat. Come be a part of a family of people all working together to try to make legitimate revenue, no Ponzi's, no money grabs, no KOLs, none of this crap. Let's actually push good products that help people, or at least decent. Let's all work together. Let's make a business that you own a part of and that has a treasury and has dividends and has stock buybacks and has all the stuff that normal corporations have. And guess what? You can play the game too. Sure, play champs. It's awesome. But you know the real game you're playing? The real game is owning the company. And I can't tell you about the new content, but guys, we're going to have a way for you all to take your tokens and basically battle each other to become larger owners of the company. Okay, I got to hush. I'm going to get in trouble. I probably got in trouble for that one. But anyway, thank you all, everyone. I really appreciate it. Yes, thank you. Yeah, I have a real soft spot for Ubisoft. I don't know. You guys are younger than me, probably. I'm 43. So, but I played, Settlers back in the day. Blue Byte was bought by Ubisoft, and I loved Blue Byte. And when Ubisoft took them over, they murdered Settlers, and it made me so angry. Anyway, some of us are having issues with the claiming. Free-to-play team is working on that. Absolutely. Mazda actually is working with Madukri on that today. They've been working on that. Yes. The claim will be fixed. Yeah. Yeah. And but yeah, Ubisoft putting that ad out on Brave Ads yesterday, because we still have our money at Brave Ads. I mean, we're still going to do some Brave advertising. But I watched Brave Ads closely, and I saw that ad, and I was just shocked. I was like, that is just, holy smokes. That's kind of like trolling. That's like saying, haha, you're poor. You have nothing. Just play our game. Just play a video game. Don't build a business or start a family or donate your time to charity or any of that. Just play a video game. That is crazy to me. I really appreciate the communication work. Thank you, Cosmic. Yes, like I said, we are trying to be the warm, fuzzy center of this corrupt, horrible place. That's, it's the lily in the valley, man, the lily in the swamp. That's why I come to work for free, for something I love, for people that I care about. I've made such good friends. I mean, I know at least 10 people that I would not know without Champs. So to me, Champs is more than a video game. It's a communication center. Oh my gosh, who's that Settlers dude? Settlers 7 though. Like, oh man, the original Settlers I used to play on a split screen, like one monitor with a screen down the middle with my friend, and we had to put like a piece of cardboard in the middle of the screen so you couldn't see each other. Should we be able to burn Champs token? Separate ways. I can't get into it. We're gonna have a mechanic where you can burn, but you're gonna more than likely want to accumulate the token because you'll be able to borrow against the token. I don't want to get into it, but anyone that knows me, you guys know for about a year I've been talking about getting the liquidity out of our Champs token where you can't, let's say you have the Champs token and you need liquidity. We have a way. Actually, we could turn it on tomorrow. We have a protocol. They're in testnet and they went live. I don't want to test it out yet, but we are going to be able to borrow against Champs. So I don't think you would ever want to burn the Champs. You'll be able to maybe hit them and receive a yield. You'll be able to borrow against them. You'll be able to sell them to the corporation. So like we're going to have an OTC, an over-the-counter trade ability, because as corporations, we're going to buy back our stock. Now it's going to be lower than the market price. So you'd be smarter selling it at the market, but maybe I know there's different reasons why you would want to, but at the end of the day, we will have an OTC desk. We will have a dividend yield for staking, and we will have the ability to borrow against Champs. So I don't know. I don't think we'll ever burn it. No. But hey, if enough people vote that way, see, that's what I'm saying. If 50%, 51% of the people vote to have a burning mechanic, we'll do it. This is a true community-owned program. This is what we're building. Community will have a say. How about putting small percentage from revenue to burn token? Again, we can vote on that, and we can do that. We could burn. We could buy back the token. I mean, if you look at Hyperliquid, Bonk, if you look at a lot of the quote-unquote successful projects right now, they're doing aggressive buybacks. I'm down. I'm down to do that. But see, the problem with buying back the token is you're creating artificial constraint. You're creating an artificial market. Like I've recently really dug into Hyperliquid. I was a big fan for about a month, and then I really got deep into it, and I was like, oh shoot, I'm not really a huge fan of Hyperliquid right now because they almost have bought 9% of their supply, which is cool, but they've also created an artificial floor for the token. And if they ever have to sell that token or unwind it, it's going to crash the market. And then also all their revenue comes from people gambling. Like I know we all have a right to gamble. Yes, but perpetual market, like the only thing I've lost money in as a trader is perps because the funding rate is so high and most people get smashed. I mean, like unless you're using like 1 or 2x leverage, you're going to lose a lot of money. Right? You start losing 5, 7, 10, 20. These people that do 40x are just crazy. Like James Nguyen, I think he's lost $900 million. That's a professional trader. And he lost $900 million. You think you're gonna step into perpetuals and do better than him? Okay, sure. Maybe. Anyway, just be careful with perpetuals, people. Perps are that's like meth. It's really fun. You might make a little money, but be careful. Okay. Yeah, to vote on what, yeah, you'll need to have token to vote. Ultimately, you're going to be able to have like a vote no matter how many token you have. But if you have, let's say, 1% or a 0.5%, you're going to be on the board, and then you're going to be able to actually put forth what we vote on. So like the board of directors would put the 5 options out, the small token holder would vote on the 5 options, you see? So if you actually want to be a part of the company and you want to control the future and you want to be what they call an activist investor, if you want to be an activist investor in our corporation, you're going to have to hold a decent amount of token. I would say 1%. I mean, if you own 10% of a company, you can like that's like a hostile takeover. Like in America, if I buy more than 10% of a company, I have to get FCC approval to do so. Like Warren Buffett, I don't like him, but he famously said, I can't enter a market because I become the market. Because if he tries to buy more than 10% of a corporation, he literally has to tell the government he's doing it, and then everyone front runs him. So imagine you're so stinking rich that you go to deploy your capital and you have to tell the market you're doing it. See, that's that's the problem. Even when you're super wealthy, there's problems. Uh, James Wynn is not a professional trader. Okay, well maybe he's not, but he says he is, right? I mean, his ego. I don't know. I don't know much about him. I heard that he sells himself as a professional trader. Maybe he's not. He may not even be a real person. Let's be honest. We don't know who James Wynn is, really, do we? Like, is he even real? I don't know. I heard he's a plant. I heard he's actually literally a plant. Um, I know everyone was like fading his calls for the last 6 months. Every time he would go long, people would go short, and they made a lot of money. Anyway, yeah. So I apologize if he's not a professional trader. I do apologize. Sometimes I'm verbose. But again, I would say he thinks he is right. Usually burning is more solid than buybacks. I saw some old buybacks from the team at two. Relaunching. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Foxy, I agree. Yeah, we did. I think we did some buybacks. Yeah, you're right. I mean, we spent like $10,000 on buybacks in that 1 month, and yeah, that would have been better used for development. I agree. That was a mistake. But we were also trying to show that you guys that we had confidence. We're trying to say, hey, we're here with you. We're buying this chart. We know it's bad. It's bad everywhere. I mean, I was just looking at Raven Quest chart last night because to me, Raven Quest, I mean, they were a decade old Web 2 game, man. They got lots of players, they got lots of money. And if they're not figuring it out, that's pretty telling, right? Uh, I know there are a ton of priorities at the moment, but there's news regarding breeding additional mycelium use. The breeding is not going to happen until we can capture all the royalties. That's been the real problem with breeding is one, we would flood our supply of NFTs into a small player base. So it would just decrease the value of the NFTs. I mean, my goodness, NFTs are 15, $20 anyway, which is honestly, we wanted them to be around 40. So we're actually not really that mad about that. Um, but we are getting no revenue on our NFTs, and we're not getting any grant money from IMX. Altura hasn't really talked to us in a while, so I don't know about Altura. Um, but we haven't received any grant money from IMX or Altura. Altura, we got the initial 10,000. We still have like 7,900 of that. We spent a little bit of it, but we still have most of it. IMX, we never received any money, so we have to sell like $250,000 in NFTs to get some money from them. Which I'm not hating on them. That's pretty standard in the industry, but we're at zero because we get all of our NFTs are on OpenSea. We've sold like 80 Ethereum worth of NFTs, and we've got no money from that. So that's that's a big hit in the face right now because you know 7 or 8 Ethereum right now would be great. Especially with, I mean, I think Ethereum is going to really go up a lot. So game tokens need better syncs. Also, champs need better syncs. Yes. Um, again, I can't get into the new content, but I promise you there's going to be syncs. You're going to need the token to play the game daily. Essentially, instead of truffles, there'll be token. Instead of like gems or Clash Royale gold or WoW gold, the token will be all of that. I don't want to get, I'm probably going to get in trouble, but the utility for the token, a lot of it's going to be, it will be used in game. It'll actually be it'll be money. So anybody that wants to onboard, offboard fiat will need the token. no more there. But yeah, I figured Alturo. They called me a couple months ago and said, "Hey, the lights aren't going to go off, but um, we'll let you know." And then I literally reached out to them twice, and they haven't said anything to me. So I think the guy that I was talking to got fired or something. I don't know. Yeah, so I'm not really planning. That's a shame though, because Altura had some really good tech. Why didn't we get any royalties from OpenSea? We we can't enforce it. The smart contract doesn't allow us. I, I don't know. That was before my time. Well, kinda, not really. Around my time, I guess, but way before my time as CEO when I was just an investor. But from what I understand, you just can't enforce it. Like Magic Eden kind of started that, and then everyone kind of had to. I think everyone changed their smart contract to match Magic Eden, and then you just had nobody collecting royalties after that. Yeah, the enforcement of fees. Yeah, from what I understand, it's a smart contract thing. Like we can't do it even if we wanted to. Like even if we were like, no, you're not allowed to buy our NFTs unless you pay us a royalty. OpenSea would be like, well, whatever. We don't care because OpenSea just wants the volume. They make the money on the volume. They need to do an airdrop. Like if OpenSea did an airdrop, oh my gosh, what an alt season that would be. Enforcement. Okay, guys. Well, it's 5:10. Oh my gosh, I'm way past time. I don't even know how many people are still here because I don't look at. Let's see. 16. So we didn't lose too many. Sorry. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go and do a 1 minute warning. We'll wrap up. I do see a couple people typing, so I'll wait till the typing is done. So yeah, James Wynn was trading on high. Okay, Venture. That makes a lot of sense. Like I said, he always come across as a you know psyop, and then also he was taking donations for a minute, right? Like that's crazy. Anyway, so yeah, Venture. I think what you've seen is a migration of people from forex into perps, right? Because forex is basically perps, same thing. Yeah, donations for perps. So, all right. Well, anyone else? But yeah, Venture. I'd be happy to talk more. If you're on Telegram, hop in our token talk. We post charts and talk TA. I mean, TA is worthless almost these days, I guess. But especially with Trump tweeting random stuff and nuking us 5% anytime. But yeah, that'd be awesome in Telegram. Thank you all. So please keep the Discord questions coming, guys. Open any kind of tickets. Shoot us questions. We're always available, and we will have more updates next week. So I appreciate you, everyone. And with that, I'm gonna give 1 more minute. I see some typing. I'll just wait 1 more minute. But the takeaway is community takeover, corporate technical overhaul. We're CTO squared here. We're trying to really build a community-owned company, and that's what we want. And we want you guys to share and grow with us, and not be adversarial where we're trying to extract money for you guys to survive. Like how do we make more money today? Well, we sell our users a bunch of stuff. That's to me that just doesn't seem right. Yes, KW. I tried to stay on topic. I think I did okay. I didn't get any messages from my staff, but who knows? I might have said too much. But I do appreciate you all. And again, I'm sorry I throw a lot at you, but I try to get a lot in an hour there. I don't want to go too long. Okay. Well, thank you all, and I will see you all next week. Have a great one. Oh, okay. Thank you. See you. Bye.